What if the most beautiful and reliable plants you could grow indoors have been waiting in a glass of water this whole time? The entire indoor gardening industry is built on a premise that turns out to be optional: soil. The system built around it, potting mixes, drainage layers, fertilizer schedules, pest products, has made growing indoors feel more complicated than it has ever needed to be. While most people are working through complicated care routines, there are plants that have been growing in nothing but water for generations, sitting on windowsills in ordinary glass jars, asking for almost nothing. It stopped being passed along for one reason: it never needed anything to sell alongside it. This is where people who value growing plants the authentic way come to find what got forgotten. These are plants that were always there. Today, I'm going to show you 10 of them that will change the way you think about growing plants indoors. Stick around, because number 7 is a herb you most probably have in your kitchen right now, and it produces more flavor and stronger aroma in water than it ever would in soil. If you're ready to discover what growing indoors actually needs, you're in the right place. Here are 10 indoor plants that thrive in only water. Let's begin. Number 1. Pothos, the indestructible water grower. Pothos has been growing in glass jars on windowsills for decades, long before hydroponic research gave it a name. It has been one of the most common plants on windowsills across every decade since indoor gardening became a household habit. It develops water-specific roots designed to absorb oxygen and nutrients from liquid, the same plant NASA researchers tested in 1989 for its ability to reduce formaldehyde in sealed environments, a finding that made it one of the most studied houseplants of history. A cutting in water, changed weekly, is the full care routine. Number 2. Lucky bamboo, the born water grower. Lucky bamboo arrives in water. That is not packaging, that is habitat. This plant grows naturally in the shaded, humid floors of tropical African rainforests. It was never designed for dry ground. The rainforest floor, permanently humid, permanently shaded, is the condition it was built for. What you are maintaining is straightforward: water level consistent, roots covered, changed every 2 to 3 weeks. Lucky bamboo does not adapt to water. It returns to it. Number 3. Silver inch plant, the 48-hour rooter. Tradescantia zebrina has been passed between gardeners as cuttings for generations. Every node along its stems carries root nubs that activate within 48 hours of submersion, a speed documented consistently by growers across decades of practice. No rooting hormone, no special container, no waiting period longer than a night. It does not make you wait. Place a cutting in water and change it every 3 to 5 days. By the following morning, roots will be forming. This is what immediate proof looks like. Number 4. Coleus, the vibrant water thrower. Coleus has been grown on indoor windowsills for centuries. Victorian parlors were full of them, long before outdoor gardening claimed the plant as its own. Dutch botanists brought it to England in the mid-1800s, and it went directly onto parlor windowsills, not into garden beds. For you, leaf color in Coleus responds directly to light, and water culture gives you full control over how much the plant receives without soil competing for your attention. Cuttings root in 3 to 5 days. Change the water twice weekly. What most gardening complicates, this plant simplifies. Number 5. Spider plant, the instant water propagator. Spider plants have been multiplying on windowsills for over a century, well documented as one of the most reliably adaptable houseplants in horticultural history. No other common houseplant produces ready-to-root offspring this consistently or this quickly. Every plantlet you cut free arrives with root nubs already formed. Place one in water, and within 7 days, those roots will have tripled. Change the water weekly. The roots are already forming before you place it in water. The first 5 plants share one thing: they were always suited to water. Households have been growing this way for generations, before the products arrived to complicate it. Water culture is not a workaround. It is the original condition. The next 5 are plants most people would not expect to find, growing in nothing but water. Number 6. Prayer plant, the humidity-loving water dweller. Prayer plants have been grown on windowsills in tropical regions for generations. Their daily movement a feature botanists named nyctinasty. It is one of the few observable daily movements in the plant world, and water does not interrupt it. You can watch it continue without interruption in water, leaves folding upward at night, opening again by morning. The evaporating water creates the humidity the plant already prefers. Change the water weekly. A plant with its own daily rhythm. Number 7. Mint, the edible water grower. Mint has been grown in kitchen gardens for thousands of years, one of the most consistently used herbs across human history. Research on hydroponic herb cultivation documents that mint produces higher yields and stronger aromatic compounds in water than in soil when nutrients are maintained. The same plant that has supplied kitchens for thousands of years produces more of what makes it useful when grown in water. Cut what you need, and the plant responds by branching. Change the water twice weekly. Flavor on demand, without a garden. Number 8. Peace lily, the soil-free bloomer. Peace lily has been a standard indoor plant in homes for decades. What remains largely unfamiliar is growing it in water, and it transitions fully, given 3 weeks. The root system restructures itself completely. Soil roots dissolve, and true water roots replace them. Wash the roots clean, place in water, and change it every few days until new water roots form. A plant that blooms without soil is harder to believe until you see it. Number 9. Arrowhead plant, the fast-growing transformer. At this point on the list, water culture stops being a convenience and becomes a documented advantage. Syngonium has been grown across tropical regions for generations, and in water, their aerial roots transform into a full root system within 2 weeks, producing continuous new growth and deeper color with nothing more than a weekly water change. The aerial roots, the same structures the plant uses to climb in the wild, become the entire system. Nothing else is needed. What water culture removes is the wet-dry cycle that holds this plant back in soil. Number 10. Monstera, the statement water plant. Monstera is last because it answers the question every plant on this list raises at some point. How far does this actually go? Monstera deliciosa produces those iconic perforated leaves that can span 2 feet across, and it develops thick aerial roots naturally along every stem. In the wild, those roots hang in open air, absorbing moisture before they ever reach soil. That behavior does not change indoors. Those roots are already designed to absorb moisture from the air. Here's what matters. Place a cutting with one aerial root in water, and that root becomes its entire root system. Every plant on this list works the same way. Soil was never the requirement. 10 plants. 10 proofs that growing indoors does not require soil, complicated routines, or expensive setups. That knowledge was always available. It had simply stopped being passed on, and now it is yours again. What if the most reliable plants you could grow indoors were waiting in a glass of water? They were. The pothos, the mint, the monstera, none of them needed soil or a complicated routine. Only water, light, and the decision to begin. You have everything you need now. Which of these 10 are you starting with today? The trailing vine, the herb on the kitchen windowsill, or the plant that makes a statement from across the room? I'd love to know. We are a community of people who grow things authentically, the way that was always there before the products arrived. We are not looking for a shortcut. We are looking for the real version. A jar with water was always enough.